What's up, everybody? I hope you guys can hear me now. Yeah, things are borked over here. Downright borked. God, my beard is unruly at best and gray at worst. What's up? Welcome back to OverDoseVapes, Obese Mode Live number 102. I hope you guys are there. What up? Thank God. Yeah, nah, that was not pleasant. It was my fault. On YouTube, when you're live streaming, there's two options. There's a single use. This is boring, but single use stream keys or reusable stream keys. What's up? How you doing? And I picked reusable for some reason. I always pick single use, and yeah, it caused a bunch of issues. But here I am. Smoke 42 Vape Church. Zoe, how are you? How's everybody doing? Hope everyone is good. Sorry about that.
42 Vape, thank you for your
I'm going to talk about, wait till everybody gets here. Boom. So how's everybody doing? What's everybody doing? It's kind of the same question. I'm just going to start right in on what I've been vaping. Been really happy with some vapes lately. Got what do we got here? Start with, I'm still vaping Naked Unicorn. I got this on the Wake Mod Bigfoot 200. This is Pandas, but I'm using it. God, the lighting in here is terrible. This, you know, I kind of like this mod a little bit. It's not the best though. I got the US1 V2 RDA on the US Interceptor 2700. No drip tip, going straight pipe, baby. And I got rocking Azul Berries, another Naked 100 cream flavor in there. I got a couple tanks. Got the, what the hell is this thing called? The OBS Engine V2 or V3, I can't remember which one. And I got that on the Mage V2. Single mode, no stack today, unfortunately. Then what do I got here? The UD Goliath. I have this on the another OBS device, actually. This is the OBS like little stick mod thing that they make. It's just a built-in battery, kind of little starter stick. But it rocks pretty low, so not too bad. Not too bad at all, actually. It's funny though, this thing's really not meant to rock super low ohm builds, right? It's for starters. It's like for little sub-ohm tanks and stuff. But I'll use this, and then when the battery's about halfway dead, it'll start. I shouldn't say this, but I'm going to anyways. It'll start giving me like this button. Instead of going green, it'll say red, which is like an error, like, you know, can't fire this or any whatever, right? And I learned this a long time ago, like when I was first starting vaping. I had my first regulated mods. I would build builds that were too low, and it wouldn't read them, and so it wouldn't want to fire them. Well, it would read them, and it wouldn't want to fire them because I knew how low they were. But if you take your RDA and you kind of unscrew it a little bit, a lot of times, and make the connection not very tight, it'll fire it. So that's a tip not to do. What's up, Sin In? Hello, hello. I thought it was like a hashtag heart. I thought it wasn't random. So yeah, so Goliath, this is a super old school tank. And I'm actually going to do a whole video on this tank. And there's a few tanks I have that I want to do a video on. It's going to be like kind of like an overlook at this time in vaping, where they went from 22 mil to 24, and from mouth to lung tanks to more direct to lung tanks. And these are two really good examples of that happening. And thanks to Senin, I was, you know, and I was able to get this Conqueror right here. And the Conqueror is a really good example of that. This is right at the kind of the apex of the end of the 22 millimeter tank era, 22 millimeter devices in general. And it's really, really great for a direct to lung experience. And so is the Goliath as well. These are not what you would consider nowadays to be super airy or anything, as compared to something like the OBS. I mean, look at the difference in airflow here. It's pretty massive difference. It says 2 airflow holes that are maybe 3 millimeter, and this says 3 that are considerably larger. So it's going to be an interesting topic, I think, this in-between period where people were still rocking cave lungs that were very much direct to lung or mouth to lung. And then people were looking for a more open experience, something like this. So. The viscous ant DNA 75, 21700. Nice. Shijin. Sweet. Spork Life, you are sporked if you can't find your Conqueror. Me and Giz had this real big, love, obsession even over the Conqueror. Absolutely great. Great device. Inside of here, I have an oldie but goodie, Killer Custard. Just OG Killer Custard. This is straight up OG because you can tell because it has the actually has the character here. Nowadays, it looks different. It has a little bowl of custard there. Boom, 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 boom. What is the setup at the moment that you love the most? Okay, so there's another thing on vaping, and this is probably my favorite setup right now. I vape a lot of different things, and so it's hard to say. But I like the coil art Azeroth because it's triple coil. 3 coils in there. And this really is good on anything. Right now I have it on this mod. I forget who made this. God damn it. I'm so bad with names. This was sent to me by, I think, ADV Vapes. ADV Coils, I mean. And this was made by Geek Vape. The Geek Vape mechanical mod. But it has a magnetic switch, which I love. So this is great. This is great. Love it. As for vape quality, I think this is probably what I'm enjoying the most right now. But if you're talking about all time, it gets tougher. Oh shit! Sorry. This is a really good setup. I'm also rocking this right now, and this is the Aliolus Light, which has been for a long time one of my favorite RDAs. 22 mil, but it still is absolutely fantastic. It's just a great RDA. Super clear flavor on it. And I have this on the Sandman mechanical mod. This is a great setup. It's an absolutely great setup. And this is a cheap setup. The whole thing is under $100 for the RDA and the mod. And if you can still get this mod, I'm not 100% sure on if this is being produced anymore. But we got ours from Heaven Gifts. I'm pretty sure sent me or Panda, one of us, this mod with the RDA that goes with it. And I think it sent it to Panda.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's just a great mod. It's an absolutely great mod. Super high quality for the price you're getting. It's black anodized on the outside, but it's copper interior. It's a great mod. Hits hard as hell. So I like this a lot. And if you're talking about like all-time setups, probably be something like like a US 1 on top of a US 1 kind of setup. Either the original US 1 mod, which I love. I think it's a great, if you're looking at 18650, I think it's a great mod for the value. It's about $150. And this is about the same price, but this takes 18650s or 2700s or 21. I don't think it takes 21700s, but and this thing has this is the 18650 sleeve. Look at that copper chunk on top. I mean, that's like thicker than a penny. And it's straight up copper. So TWG, what up, my man? Well, send in, tell your cat I said what's up. Well, I'll tell your cat what's up. What's up, cat? What's your cat's name? So I can say hello. And what kind of car did you buy? That's exciting. That is exciting stuff. Okay, so what else am I vaping? So I already talked about, I got Azul Berries from Naked 100 Cream, Naked Unicorn, Vaping White Girl in my little vacuum pump container with my little guy on it. These things are so great. These little containers are so great. I cannot recommend these enough. If anybody's interested, I can throw you a link to an Amazon where you can buy these. Like you can buy them by like in multiples, like 3, 6, 12s. Yeah, me and Pan are gonna buy like a dozen of them, so we can put a bunch of different e-liquids in them. They're just so great. There's no straw going down in there, so it's all just based on a vacuum system. They're so wonderful, and they really remind me of the OG Smacks e-liquid bottles, which had a real similar design. The ones we're gonna get actually have a foam soap head, so it's a little bit wider, and it kind of comes out in more of a little goosh. This is very, it's got a really thin little extruder, and but we got this for free. Panda got it from one of her Chinese homies. They sent out a little sample. Easy Rider, what up? How you doing? And hello, Natasha, Princess of Evil. No, I'm changing my name because of you, that white guy. I'm Travid. Okay, enough horsing around. So something devastating happened to me this week. I lost my Sauron Vegan pod system. I'm pretty devastated about it. It was like the first pod system that I really liked, and I've been trying to. I lost it.
No, you always misplace that damn thing. It's probably in the bed.
It's gone.
No, it's not.
It's.
Don't even try to get sympathy for something that's under the bed or something.
It's not under the bed. There is no under the bed.
You always lose it. It's in the couch.
Can we not argue on my show? Thank you.
I'm arguing.
So I lost it.
No, you didn't.
And
don't listen to him.
And it's awful, and I'm feeling pretty bad.
He lost it for about 15 minutes.
But what I've been using in the meantime is I'm using the AI pod from iJoy. I got this the Nexus from Vaporesso. This, when I first got it, this is like the first one that I got was like what you would call like a traditional pod system, and I really liked it at the time. But just needed to have something better. It's real. It becomes quickly apparent that this thing really lacks. It's just not that great. I liked it at the time. But as soon as I got the Vagon really ruined it for me for other pod systems because it's so dialed in. It's such a great experience at 50 milligram, specifically at 50 milligram. I think it's the perfect balance of airflow and power. It just works. It just works. I love it so much. So I don't have coils for any of those or pods or whatever you want to call them. But I did have one for my little Artery Pal thing, right? So I actually went through the trouble of changing that all out. I got some 50 milligram basics apple, whatever the other one. It's not apple pie or anything. It's just apple, but it's good. 50 milligram. Zach Johnson, what's up? But the thing about this is it has too much airflow. It's funny because I spent my whole vape life really wanting more airflow on everything, right? Like I was saying, for these tanks were like the answer to a question that I had for a long time, which was give me a rebuildable tank with good airflow. And it took forever. Like I said, when we started the channel in 2014, we were using some tanks that were very close in airflow to the K-Fun. They were considerably larger airflow, but it was still, I mean, going back to them, I actually bought one not that long ago and tried to use it, and it was like, geez, there's no way. And yeah, it's just, this is just a bullet box clone, that's all it is. So I mean, we came a long way, but it took forever for them to actually get something that has open airflow like this. And now all I'm screaming at when I get a pod system is like, oh, cut that airflow down. And the problem with a lot of pod systems is there really is no way to adjust your airflow. It's whatever they give you, that's what you're stuck with. Most of them, you can find a way to kind of maneuver your fingers around the airflow to cut it off. Like with the AI pod here, it's the airflow's on the sides, little tiny holes. But that's, I don't want to have to do that. Give me the ability to change it. So CNN bought a 2006 Buick Lucerne. Yes. Oh, no, I love it. I love four-door sedans. I'm such a boring dad kind of guy. I just want to give me a four-door sedan that gets good gas mileage or half decent gas mileage, done. I am so okay with just being comfortable in a car. Yes, please. I don't need to have any of the other luxury except for give me a big ass, beautiful sedan that I can just lounge in. If I can drive in my bed or on my couch, that's the kind of experience that I want out of a car. I fall asleep anyways. So what's the difference? Well, congratulations, sent in. Sounds awesome. 32,000 miles. Oh, you'll be driving that for quite a while. Heated seats. Yes. Love it. Love it. What car were we driving in that had heated seats? Oh, I used to have a van that had heated seats. It was nice. So, what's everybody vaping on? I want to know what you guys are vaping on. One more thing that I'm vaping on, and I feel so bad. I actually really do need to do a video on this, because they sent this out for review, and I've recorded a video 3 times for it, and I just haven't been happy with the videos, and I don't want to put out content that I'm not proud of, right? But it's the Mimic pod system, and there's a lot to say about these. They're really not bad. They're not bad at all. I actually sent one out to Juan Castillo as part of a prize that he won. And the pods they come pre-filled with e-liquid. These guys make decent e-liquid. If you saw my review on their Cigalites, they were good. Yeah, and Penna gave one to her friend, and she loved it. And it has good e-liquid, but it's also refillable. It's very easily refillable. You don't have to mess around. It's got a little rubber stopper on the bottom. You unplug it and you can fill it right up or unfill it if you don't want the e-liquid that they send. There's 2 different kinds of pods. There's one battery that goes, and it's all so cheap. And so I want to do a video for these guys, and I've had them for longer than I should. But things move slowly. I would overdose vapes headquarters occasionally. So if your car is like a rolling couch, then you're winning in life, Sinan. You're winning. So you can see immediately the problem with this specific one is that it has way too much airflow. And but this I got a 24 milligram in here, and for that it's actually really good. And there's 2 different kinds of pods that come with this Mimic little pod system, and I have the cloud pod in there right now. So there's cloud pods, and then there's another one called a vape pod, which is a weird name for a mouth to lung. But one's supposed to be mouth to lung, one's supposed to be clouds. I don't know what. Direct to lung. Drop solo with dual vertical Claptons. How do you got dual vertical Claptons in a drop solo? Send me a pic of that. I want to see that. I want to see that. I love the drop solo. In my opinion, the best single coil mod on the market. Single coil RDA. Before their stream, I was having so much trouble just putting a sentence together, and that obviously continues. So, broadside with Apocalypse Gen 2 RDA with White Girl. Yeah, you won some White Girl. That's right. Zach Johnson did. I go back and forth between I like the Apocalypse and I hate it. So
I want a real one.
Yeah, we have a clone one. I've used a real one before, and I liked it at the time.
I've been wanting one since I got that clone.
Yeah.
I love the style of it. I want one so bad.
Yeah, they have really good style.
I don't know why I never got one. Wonder.
Oh yeah, you're so mistreated. Oh my god, don't even start with me, girl. So what else am I vaping on? I got the kangaroo custard. Boom. And I have Panda has it, but we have peanut butter and jelly jam monster.
Yeah, I'm about to go take a Sorry.
So yeah, I've got a lot of stuff going on.
Wow. Cool.
Oh, and just to touch on, you know what? I just want to make sure, because it's like people's real names and their vape names and their YouTube names. Smoke 40p Vape, you were the one who sent me this, right? The kangaroo custard. Right? You sent me that? Like I would feel bad if I didn't give you credit for it, or if I gave you credit for it and it was somebody else that sent it. I think there's a lag. Yeah, there's a lag for sure. It's on my end though, for sure. Let me look. Did we freeze or something? It's bad.
Why is there such a lag?
Panda likes the peanut butter and jam monster. She did not like the original jam monsters, right?
The jam monsters?
The original
I didn't
ones.
like the originals, no. I like the peanut butter.
The peanut butter and jam monster is like a poor man's. Yeah, I love it. So I was smoke 42 vape. Yeah. So I actually love this kangaroo custard. It's really, really deep. Yeah. Well, he said, "Do you like it?"
I love it. So.
Panda loves the peanut butter and jam monster, which I actually really like too, but she kind of just hijacked it from me, unfortunately.
Well, you got the custom one. I like that one too.
You like everything I like.
No, you like everything I like.
I'm gonna give you a smack.
You try to steal everything
Okay, good.
of mine.
Good, we're not frozen.
Just try to almost steal my shit.
Get out of my house.
What? You don't have a house.
The PB and Jam Monster is kind of like a poor man's version of Code 69. It's not as good as Code 69. I saw an Instagram story by Keith Black. No, it's not close. It's not close.
It's good.
Keith Black on Instagram was doing a video.
Well, I haven't had it in a while, so.
Yeah. No, we need to order some. So again, Keith Black was doing an Instagram story, and he was saying that he liked this. You know, he's like, I really like it. It's good. It's something I can get instead of waiting 4 weeks to get Code 69. And so yeah.
No, you fucking idiot.
These fucking cats are a nightmare. And so I was interested to try it. I actually liked Jam Monster. It wasn't bad in my opinion. It was something I got burnt out on really, really quickly, but I thought it was interesting, right? Really interesting because it had this really deep butter note to it. And so when Keith Black was saying that he liked the peanut butter and jam monster, it made me curious. And I'm a huge fan of Code 69. I think Code 69 was the best e-liquid that I've had in a really long time. It was definitely the best peanut butter vape I've ever had, without a doubt. Code 69 did for peanut butter and jelly what lemon tart did for lemon vapes. And for me, I hated lemon vapes until Dinner Lady's lemon tart showed me what could be, what is possible with lemon. And it really woke me up, like wow, there could be some really good lemon vapes. And the same thing happened with Code 69. Every peanut butter I'd ever had was really like smoky sometimes, or just like burnt peanuts. And I disliked that. I disliked that a lot. I mean, as most people would, I assume. But when Code 69 showed up here, and it was fucking good, like delicious, it really opened my eyes. Yeah. Stormed off, stepped on a cat. What are you going to do? The thought of vaping peanut butter makes me pukey. I am so sorry, Sinan, because if you had a chance to try Code 69, I think that would change your mind, unless you just don't like peanut butter. And in which case, there is no pleasing you. Because if you like peanut butter, like at all, then Code 69 is the jam, literally. Peanut butter and jam monster is good. It's just that it's really light on peanut butter. Their jam is like what they're known for, and they kind of just shove that to the front, unfortunately, because I think it could have benefited from some more peanut butter, because the peanut butter they have is not bad. It's not smoky. It doesn't have any of that shit. Gez, you crazy man. If you love peanut butter, see, Sinan, what we need to do is we need to get together and do like a group buy of Code 69, because it takes a long time to get here. Peanut butter custard, that sounds interesting too. I tell you what, Sinan, there's a lot of things that I think when I think of vaping, yeah, I get the same kind of feeling. But then there will be a vape that will change my mind, um, like with pizza and um, what the hell was the name of that? Um, God damn, what the hell was the name of the pizza vape? I'm a mental block. I am indeed a living mental block. The business goes down. They're out of my peripheral for a while. He doesn't come on the show, and now I totally forget the name of that fucking pizza vape. Phantom Ravioli. Phantom Ravioli was a vape that was flavored like pizza, but it was really good. It was really good. I actually have like the remains of a bottle. Now it wasn't something I would vape like day to day or anything, but it was actually really good. All the flavors were there, which was really interesting. So yeah, you really we gotta try. You know what? We need to get some code 69. We really do. And send in if you haven't seen my review of code 69. Go check it out because it is goddamn delicious. It was like one of the best flavors. What was it, last year or year before? Whatever year it came out. All the years are blending together for me, as the gray hairs in my beard will attest to. Um, God damn, it was like the best flavor of the year. Can't eat peanut butter Captain Crunch either. Well, this might not be the vape for you. It just might not be the vape for you. I tell you what, though, it's a vape for me. I absolutely loved it. So I want to address why there hasn't been any videos on the channel this week. Well, I'm super busy at work, but that's not why. It's really not why. The reason why there hasn't been any videos on the channel this week is because in the latest update for Windows, they have basically totally screwed over the old school Windows Movie Maker. So if you don't know, you can't. So Zach Johnson, Phantom Ravioli was made by a company that is no longer in business, so you cannot buy it, unfortunately. So anyways, if you don't know, I've been using Windows Movie Maker to edit the videos since I started the channel, and I know that's super limiting on what you can do. And it was John Carlos, yeah. Windows Movie Maker was very limiting on what I was able to create. It was not by any means meant to be something that was long term. But yeah, John Carlo owned Omegaddon, TWG. My world upside down. Well, thank you, Giz. You turned my world upside down. Mueller, what up? About time. Where the hell you been? Johnny, my man. So Windows Movie Maker was the built-in Windows video editing software that came with all Windows up until Windows 10. Windows 10 axed it. They didn't include it anymore. But I was still able to go and download Windows Movie Maker from third-party websites. And again, this wasn't something I planned on using for the long term. But when I started doing the channel, I didn't have money I was still in college. I went back to college late in life, and so I didn't have a ton of disposable income. And this really was started as just kind of a mess around kind of thing, right? We were just having fun. We weren't taking it super seriously. So Windows Movie Maker was very convenient because it was free. It got the job done, and it just kind of ended up sticking with me because I'm so busy at work. The idea of learning a new editing software was like, I just couldn't even comprehend trying that. Juan Castillo, what's up, man? About time everybody shows up. So long story short, Windows Movie Maker was something I wasn't intending on using for a long time. Ended up using it forever. And up until very recently, it functioned fine for what I needed it to do. I would do the main edits in Windows Movie Maker, and then I would transfer that to a separate program called Filmora and do the green screen and stuff like that, and then render it in Filmora. But recently, I was editing a video on Windows Movie Maker, and it's right after the latest update for Windows, and it just didn't work. Like when you try to render with it, it comes out very like anytime an image is moving, there's just a ton of fragmentation and pixelation and artifacting. And unfortunately, I thought it was just the one file that I had. Maybe it was just corrupted, but no, it's everything. And so it sucks. And I know people are like, come on, move on. Windows Movie Maker is fucking shit. And it is fucking shit. It's so shit. But it was my shit. You know, I used it. It was super easy. It was so easy to edit a video in there. I could edit a video in a couple hours. Well, back in the day. When I started doing more editing and stuff, it took a lot longer. But Tommy Vapors, what's going on, brother? Hello. I just want to say, while Tommy's here, Tommy Vapors is the first supporter of Overdose Vapes on Patreon. And because of that, Tommy Vapors is going to get access to every tier of the Patreon. We have a bunch of different tiers, right? And so everything that's offered from Patreon, Tommy Vapors is getting access to that because he is the first supporter of Overdose Vapes. So thank you so much, Tommy. You are a man amongst men, and I love you, brother. I'm going to get you on the show one of these days. Man, what a great guy. Tommy is such a great guy. So anyways, yeah, so Windows Movie Maker is not an option anymore. So I actually have the latest version of Filmora. It's Filmora 9. And I'm learning how to use it. And so that's all I can do. It's taking me a lot longer to get out a video. I've been working on this one video basically all week because I'm just learning how to do it. And it's not really super intuitive like the old one was. Man, Tommy, you're so nice. You're such a great guy. So, you know, I hate to harp on this, but Windows Movie Maker was I knew where everything was. It just popped in, boom, done. I knew how to do it. So yeah, Filmora, it is what it is now. I have no other options, and I have the program. So I had another program that I bought in fucking like 2015 or something. It was Sony. It was like a Sony video editing program. It wasn't Vegas, but it was something similar. You can upgrade it to Vegas, but it's not Vegas. But it doesn't actually accept MP4s, which is what, after rendering, what a lot of these videos end up as. And if I'm using the Logitech C920, then they all come out as MP4s. So then, yeah, we actually looked at a lot of. I lulled at many other alternatives for what we want. And what we do here, which is not super in-depth editing. Chevy, man, what up? It looks like Filmora is our best option. Panda's been using Filmora for a really long time. And so she has experience with it. And so I have access to someone who knows how to use it. Yeah, no, there's a ton of free stuff out there for sure. But again, since we have it, and she's really, really good with it. Like, I don't know if anybody watches Panda's videos that are in chat, but her videos are so far ahead of mine as far as editing. Like, she's such a great editor. And so, having access to her knowledge of how the program works makes it infinitely easier for me. But I want to get the same feeling that my old videos had as far as editing and music and all that kind of stuff. And I just want to, transfer it over. It's actually going to be better. It's going to be so much better. Once I get it down to where I can produce these videos in a timely manner, it's good. It's better. It's just better. There's more transitions. There's better options for lighting and effects, and it's so much better. By like orders of magnitude. Windows Movie Maker was a joke. It really was. And when you tell people, like when I interact with other YouTubers, and they're talking about using like Adobe Premiere and all this different shit, and I'm like, yeah, I use Windows Movie Maker. It's like people literally laugh at me. So, yeah. As funny as it is for me to be saying, kind of railing on how complicated this is, Filmora is actually so intuitive as compared to something like Adobe Premiere, which we actually looked at as well. We looked at getting Adobe Premiere just to say, fucking, let's just get Adobe Premiere. But that's actually really complicated. We still might get that for her because, again, she's she's got a lot of talent as a video editor, and so I want to get her the tools that she needs to be the best that she can be. And yeah, Adobe definitely makes footwear. Good, Tommy, fucking A, man. Don't update your machine because the latest update that I had for Windows totally fucked Windows Movie Maker. That's why I'm railing on about it. But I use Adobe programs for my thumbnails. I use Adobe Spark, which is just an online thing, but it works great for thumbnails. So I use that like crazy. Although I don't think anybody even looks at fucking thumbnails anymore. But it is what it is. Yeah, but this kangaroo, so I want to talk about this. This kangaroo custard is legit. Is legit. Send me a link if you have one. Oh man, Panda will be so mad at me and you because she really wants to get me. She's been trying to get me off of Windows Movie Maker forever and make the leap. But man, hit me up. So yeah, this kangaroo custard is so fantastic. It's absolutely delicious, and I can't thank Smoke 42 Vape enough. He sent this out. He sent out the peanut butter and jam monster. I don't want to say his real name. The reason why I didn't know it. I know because I know, but like I'm so bad with names already that so when he emailed me, it was one name. When the package came, it was a different name, and when I see him on YouTube, it's a different name. And so that's a lot of names to keep up with. You know what I'm saying? For me, 3 names is a lot to keep up with. I hope you didn't buy these for me. I hope you had these already, man, because I would feel so bad if you bought these for me. Not to say that I don't appreciate the juice because it's fucking fantastic. Ooh, I almost put it on the wrong RDA. Ooh, that would have been so bad. But I don't want you to spend your money on it, that's for sure. Oh. Yeah, Tommy, man, send me a link. I will definitely check it out. Yeah. Man, it's been such a tough couple of weeks. Buying this graphics card for this computer really set me fucking back financially. It was $350. But I've been really happy with the computer. The case, the one thing I don't like, so I don't like the case that I bought. That's funny. That's funny shit. Smoke 42 Vape, you're a good people, man. Much love. Much love. So when I built my last computer, my last game, for gaming, I hadn't even started doing videos at that time. This was my first gaming computer, right? Like I had a PlayStation. I wanted to build a computer. I needed one for school, right? So I bought like a Dell or some shit. And somebody bought me Skyrim, the original version of Skyrim for PC. And I tried to install it on my computer, but my computer was shit. It was like a Dell fucking shit computer, and it wouldn't run. And that kind of started me on my journey of rediscovery of the PC as a platform for gaming. And so the first computer I built, I was coming back into computers after having not used computers in any real serious. I had like a laptop, but I didn't use computers for gaming or any kind of production work for years. I used to build computers when I was much younger and for music because I was into making music, like rap music, making beats and stuff, which I have a SoundCloud. If you want to look it up, it's under my name, Travis Meeks. Actually has a lot of my old music on it. And used to build computers, used to do all that kind of shit all the time. But then I stopped because life got in the way and I was, struggling with addiction and homelessness and all the other shit. So you don't have a lot of time for computers. Even though when I was homeless, I did have a computer still. I had just a big, giant, old school tower in the back of my truck. And I used to go find places that had outdoor power outlets. And I would plug that fucker in, man, and watch DVDs and play games and shit. Play like the Diablo 2, shit like that. Age of Empires on my fucking computer in the back of my truck. It's pretty funny. Looking back on it now, it's fun. At the time, it was not so funny. But But so yeah, so again, when I came back into computers, everything had changed, and I really didn't know anything about computers. I watched a few videos, and I thought I made some really good choices. But there were some of the things that I on my original computer, some of the things that I bought, just weren't great, just decisions, right? And so some of the things I bought just weren't the best options I could have gotten, as far as like my motherboard was not super great. Um, but then I quickly built a second computer and made some better decisions. Got a better graphics card. Got a really great processor that I ended up using all the way up until recently. And but I still had some things that I was like, oh, you know, I didn't really make the best decision for this. So for this computer, the latest one that I just built, I told myself like I'm gonna like research every piece, every component. I'm not gonna buy anything I'm gonna be unhappy with. But I still ended up with a computer case that I am so not happy with. I'm just absolutely not happy with it, and it's got really limited airflow options. It's too small, so I'm gonna replace the computer case, and I'm gonna get a water cooling setup for the processor, so I can do some overclocking. Everything else I'm really happy with, but you should see this thing render, man. Oh my god! So I'm doing video rendering. It straight chews through rendering. So my old computer, I had a 4-core Intel i5 4670K overclockable Intel processor. Great for gaming, even today. Great for gaming, but so terrible for video editing or for streaming or anything like that. It's very limited because it has 4 cores and only 4 threads. So I mean, it's 4 cores. That's it. Boom. You got what you got. But this new, so when it was rendering, like, you know, rendering video into its final form, it would be like watching a slideshow because it shows the video as it's rendering. It would be like a slideshow. It would take hours to render, like especially green screen footage. So I rendered something on the new computer very recently, and it actually renders like double speed. Like it's like when the video playback is going on while it's rendering, it's going faster than real time, which I've never seen a computer do that, at least not in person, you know. So this new computer is just so great. I just absolutely love it. I'm so happy with it. Yeah, love it. And it fucking games like a beast too. So happy with computers. I love computers so much. I think I'm going to start another channel. Well, I'm going to be honest with you guys. I already have started another channel. I'm not ready to show anybody it yet, but I already have another YouTube channel. And not like the second one that I used to stream on when I had the strike, but I have a second channel that's going to be totally separate from Overdose Vapes. That's going to be about computers and a new business opportunity that I'm going to take, which is going to be to build computers for people. So I'm going to spend some time on that. It's not going to be like a main focus of interest for me or anything, as far as YouTube's concerned, but it is going to be something that I put up videos on whenever I have a computer that I'm going to be building or anything that I want to talk about as far as computers are concerned. So yeah, I will, you know, when I start putting content on there, I will share that with you guys if you guys are interested in watching that or anything. So, all right. Duran Duran, Hungry Like the Wolf. From who? From Adam P. Okay. I like Duran Duran. I like that era of music we've been really getting into lately, like listening to old Smiths albums and shit like that. Wow, aggressive. Okay, I'll let that go through. You don't fucking care? Okay, then why are you here? Sorry to waste your time, Jonathan Green. How rude. How absolutely rude. That was not friendly at all. Oh, some vaping news. What the fuck am I vaping on here? Oh yeah. So I was at my local shop, and well, one of my local shops. It's called Emerald Triangle Glass Works. They're like what we would call here. Come on. Um, they're like what you would call like a bong and dildo store, right? I'm not mad. I'm not mad. Um, that's what I've always called like a bong and dildo store. They sell bongs, they sell all the different shit that's related to um, smoking weed and shit like that, right? It's a cool store though, and they have like a really great vape section, and they've really updated it to be modern and competitive, and their pricing is very competitive, and it doesn't beat online, and they're very aware of that as well. But if you want to go in somewhere and have someone who knows what they're talking about and pay decent prices, I do like it. I think it's a good shop. It's called Emerald Triangle Glassworks. So if you're ever in Ukiah, in the Mendocino County area, you can stop by there and they'll take good care of you. Tell them you know me, and yeah, they're great. And the guy who kind of manages the shop was telling me that so they have a shop here in Ukiah, which is where I live, and then they have another shop up north, just like a little bit up north, in a little tiny town called Redwood Valley. So in Redwood Valley, he was at his shop restocking, and the health department came, local health, like Mendocino County's health and human service. I don't know, whatever, health department. And so they had him do a survey, right, asking him about his business. And the person who was giving him the survey let it slip that Mendocino County, the county that I live in here in California, was actually considering banning either flavors or vaping. The person who was administering the Redneck Vapor, what up? The person that was administering the survey didn't really know the details of it, but said that the end goal of this survey was to find a way to eliminate vaping in Mendocino County. And that was something that I am aware of because of my work. I do interact with local government officials quite a bit. Well, local, like social workers, that kind of shit. And I have seen like there's been this campaign against vaping for a long time. Like if you walk into like local, health and human services agency offices, there's like anti-vaping posters everywhere. It's one of their big things that they're into. And but I thought it was just kind of like Shelter Cove. It's a beautiful place. Yep, more elk than people there. Very true. And so I was just kind of thought it was like one of those weak-handed kind of governmental initiative kind of things where it's like, yeah, we hate freaking vaping, but like whatever, do what you want to do. But this sounded very serious. And the guy who I was talking to, the guy who has a vested interest in the industry, he was really scared. He was really, really scared. He was saying that this person relayed to him that it's very serious. And then within a matter of months, they hope to actually have some kind of formal bill to eliminate vaping in Mendocino County. Of course, that won't affect me, and it won't affect anybody who can go online and buy something. But see, I know. That's the fucking crazy thing. Dave's World brings up a great point. Mendocino County, specifically us, marijuana is this huge industry in our county. And California, marijuana is legal, right? And but then you're going to come in and ban vaping. This is something at a bong and dildo store where I'm talking to this guy, and it was like we were all just like baffled by like, how are you going to come in and like say all these bongs and all this weed is fine, but you got to get rid of those vapes? It's just insanity. But he was concerned from a business perspective as well, because he has $30,000 worth of vape freaking products, right? Like he has $30,000 worth of e-liquid mods, all that kind of shit sitting on his shelves. And he's like, I don't know, is it going to be like, am I able to sell what I have? Is this something that I'm going to have to just take the loss on? Because I can't take a loss on $30,000, right? Swaggy Shane, what up, my friend? JFM Development, what's going on, brother? And so it's and James Capozzi, what's happening? It's one of those things where it's like, what would the government do? And what has happened in the past when there was these bans on flavors? Were people allowed to sell remaining stock, or was it just like one day you're just done and there's nothing? You get caught selling it, you're in big fucking trouble. I didn't know what to tell them, and to be honest, I really doubt that the government officials know what their plan would be. There's just this fucking hysteria right now about teen vaping, and it's just this madness, that has no basis in reality. I work. Wow, yeah, no, they aren't. No, for sure. San Francisco is totally borked when it comes to vaping. It seems like the most liberal areas, right? Like the most liberal areas in the world are the ones that like are in California, are like the ones who are like pushing back the hardest against vaping. It just sucks. It just sucks. No, I don't have a vape shop. But for me, it's not a big deal. I can make my own e-liquid. I can go online. I know where to go and buy stuff, right? But it's like the new vapor, new vapor is someone who wants to switch to vaping, an older person maybe, right? They're not going to go online. Is just a bad option for them. Even if they do go online and try to buy something, they don't even know what they're looking for a lot of times, right? Hopefully people will go online and do research and, yeah, I know Utah's totally fucked up. Yeah. Yeah. Hopefully people go online, do some research and all that kind of stuff. But your average person probably isn't going to do that. They're probably not going to do that. Your average person is probably just going to go online, look at stuff, get overwhelmed, and say, I'm just going to keep smoking, or your average person is just going to say, like, buy something, be unhappy with it because they don't know exactly what they want, and go back to smoking. It's just, I think that the only person who loses in the situation where you ban flavors or you ban vaping, the only person who loses is the smoker. Someone who's still smoking. Those are the people who really lose, because they're the ones who are the most vulnerable to the idea that, like, I'll just keep smoking. Like for me, even if I was totally unable to make my own e-liquid, like if they found some way to keep me from even DIYing, right? Which is not a possibility, but let's just say in this crazy world, like I wasn't allowed to get anything I needed to make e-liquid or to buy anything online, I wouldn't go back to smoking, right? I just wouldn't vape, which would be, it's a shame, but I would survive. And but because I'm not, like the one who gets hurt is not me. It's the people who are still smoking. People who are like, maybe they've been off of, maybe they've been vaping for a week. What happens when the flavor ban goes into effect for them, So, yeah. Yeah, so the thing, I actually know someone who lives in Utah, sitting in, and the thing about ordering stuff online, some companies will say like, oh, you can't get this shipped to Utah. Other companies, though, of course, will, like you said, like there's some Chinese companies that will just say, sure, we'll ship it to you. And some of that shit gets intercepted, and then some of it gets through. Just like, anything else that you're illicitly having shipped to you when you're not supposed to. Sometimes it works. Excuse me. Sometimes it doesn't. So Utah is so fucked. Oh my God. Yeah. When I heard, like the flavor bans, that's terrible. Don't get me wrong. That's really, really bad. And that really hurts people who are trying to make the transition. But like when you do things like what Utah did, that's insidious. That's like straight up evil, because they're making it where it's like, holy shit. It's like you get in trouble and shit. So yeah, see, Dave's world makes it's like it's such a vulnerable point in this industry that every time someone fucks someone over in a shop, you're just giving ammunition to this eventual ban. And you know what? I've said this before, and I hate to say it again, but I really think This is going to be the year that makes us or breaks us as far as vaping. And the reality is, it's probably going to break us. There's going to be some kind of federal action, I believe, on vaping in some way. What that looks like, I don't entirely know yet, but there is going to definitely be some kind of federal action. I think that vaping on YouTube, like what we're doing right now, I think that has a very, very limited lifespan. I don't think we're going to be on YouTube for very long. Yeah, Utah is pretty strange in general. You're right. But I think that YouTube and places like this, like social media, I think that's going to be the first thing that gets hit, because that's where people speak out against, things like the ban. Instagram, I think, is also really vulnerable, because a lot of advocacy happens on Instagram, even more than YouTube, I think, in all reality, which is weird, because it seems like this would be a better avenue for it. But I think Instagram actually has more advocacy that I see happen live, right? But I think they're going to try to silence that, because I think the first step to having an effective ban on vaping is to shut down all dissent from that idea. And if you can shut down social media for vapors, I think that makes us really vulnerable. And I think that's going to happen this year. I really do. I think we saw a test flight of that last year when they hit everybody with the strikes for the CBD reviews. They hit me with a community guideline strike, and that has affected my standings with YouTube in a really, really noticeable, major way. My views have gone way down. My engagement and stuff like that, like it's just way down. And when I try to figure out why, right? And why, when I look at my analytics, it's saying all the views I'm getting are not from subscribers; they're from random people searching for products on YouTube. It's because my videos aren't getting recommended to people. And after doing a little bit of digging, it's once you get a community guideline strike, YouTube doesn't recommend you to anyone anymore. And so people have to actively look for it. And so I think that was a kind of a first step. Yeah, YouTube will definitely shut us all down if a ban goes through, or before a ban goes through. I think government officials and big corporations are kind of the same thing nowadays. And so, again, I think last year's massive strike campaign against vaping was the first step in that. We saw a lot of big channels, bigger than me, straight go down, and some of them never came back. Some people are back and they're trying to recover, but their initial fan base and all their original numbers that they had are gone. And I think that's going to be something that we see. I said this, again, I said this a lot, but it's true. If you take every single vaping channel, from the smallest 3-subscriber e-liquid reviewer to Rip Trippers, and you combine every single one of those channels, and you combine all those numbers, we don't even have one PewDiePie. We don't even have one Philip DeFranco. So they could lose all of vaping. YouTube would not care. It doesn't matter to them at all. And as soon as advertisers start, and we talked about this last week, as soon as advertisers start seeing their ads played on a vaping channel, no way, not going to have it. Not going to have it at all. Yeah. Yeah, they're limiting what vapor channels can do. Yeah, for sure. That's why you see so many big YouTubers, like rats from a sinking ship, going to other platforms, just not doing YouTube anymore and going straight into the industry, which we've seen a lot. We've seen a lot of people do that. God, there's been some really, really big YouTubers that do not make videos anymore and have totally transitioned to being in the vape industry. And it's like they're just trying to get their money now before everything gets shut down, which I understand. If you've been doing this for a long time, which like me, I have to. Shane, what's going on, brother? I've been doing this for a really long time, and I understand the compulsion to I need to cash in now while I can before they shut vaping down. But that's just not me. Money has. Look, I appreciate money, and I like having money, right? Yeah, the gun channels, they got shut. A lot of those big gun channels back in the day got shut down too. And I appreciate the value of money, right? Like I know I have to pay bills and shit like everybody else. But it's not like I never had money growing up. I was always super poor. And so there's not this inherent like greed inside of me. I'm not saying I'm better than anyone else because I'm not, right? Yeah, man, I've been on it for a long ass time. Um, and I'll talk about vape too, for sure. Um, and I see why some big YouTubers have made that switch to like, hey, I just want to cash in. I've been doing this for a long time. I just want some money. I get it. It's just not me. I'm gonna be here till the wheels fall off, for sure. I mean, the idea of something like an alternative platform, I'm talking about VapeTube or any alternative platform. There's been a couple other new ones that I've seen people use. Other people had had a lot of success initially with Twitch, which is another option. You're never going to beat YouTube. And that's the problem, you know. I think a different platform is great, but you're never going to beat YouTube. And you might have 10% of the people that follow you on YouTube. If you made a major shift from one platform to another, you'd be lucky to have 10% of people follow you there. Now, I think it would be a little bit different if they straight shut all vaping down on YouTube, right? Like there was no one left on YouTube to watch vaping content. Then that might be different because people are going to be looking for it. And so they might follow you to a different platform. But if there's still people on YouTube that are vaping, then other platforms don't have a chance. They just don't have a chance. I think there's been some interesting tries at alternative platforms. What the hell's the name of the one? Vaffle, the one that was created by the people behind Heaven Skips, started Vaffle as kind of an alternative to Instagram, and it was interesting. But like Instagram was still there, and so when I was having to like put up content on Vaffle and Instagram, pretty soon I just went back to Instagram. You know, it was like, okay, well, this is just like Instagram. It's only vaping. But with Instagram, it's Instagram. Instagram notification just popped up. That's really funny. Yeah, Twitch. I mean, Twitch. I think that if YouTube gets shut down for vaping, Instagram will not be a viable option either. You know, big corporations own all this stuff. So I love Twitch. I do stream on Twitch at OverDoseVapes. You can check us out. I stream there occasionally. Not vaping stuff. It's just gaming stuff. But yeah, I think that I think we're in a lot of trouble. And that's just the reality. Vaping, it's going to be a miracle if vaping persists in its current form throughout the next year. I think there's going to be some major changes. I think it's going to be some major changes. And, you know, on a federal level, so for California, we have this like nanny state thing going on, which I hate, right? I hate it. The flavor bans, all this other shit. There's things about California I love. But then there's other things where I just don't get it. You don't need to tell me what I can and can't do so much, right? Sensible laws are sensible, but then shit like this just doesn't make any sense. It baffles the mind. But if you get into a federal level, I mean, right now, the other side of the aisle are the ones in control. So if we see a federal ban during the current administration, then both sides are totally borked, right? And I think it's pretty obvious that both sides of the political fence are totally fucked, and they're both totally owned. They're totally owned by fucking big corporations. I mean, money in politics is what's going to cause the downfall of vaping. Yeah, I tell you, I would hate to see OverDoseVapes be gone, but I would continue doing content on YouTube for sure. Like I said, I have another channel, and I would be live streaming. I would probably continue to live stream on Instagram or on YouTube. But yeah, did you email me the picture? Awesome. I'll take a look at that. Well, I'll wait till after the stream. You know what I think I'm going to do is I think I'm going to bring back the coil competitions that we used to do. Not competitions, the coil showcases that we used to do on OverDoseVapes, the Obese Mode Live on the live streams. We used to show people's coils. It was a lot of fun. We kind of stopped doing it because people weren't sending in coils anymore. But I think it's been a long enough of a break that I think we could probably get people to get back involved in that. Juan Castillo, I'm looking at you, brother. Send me some fucking coils to show. Not like send them to me. Send me pictures of the coils. Hey, if you want to send me coils too, though, hell, I'll take those. Well, guys, I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. Things are crazy. Just keep our heads. Make sure that you're advocating for the thing that you're passionate about. If you're passionate about vaping, advocate, man. You got to let your local politicians know on like a very local level. Like to, get our congressmen, our senators, governors, that kind of shit. It's really important. It's super important. But don't forget, like, city councilman. I got you. Smoke 42, babe. City councils, like, local politics is also really important. Like, if Mendocino County gets this county ban, I think that's something that we could have prevented if we were, like, doing a little bit more, like small scale politics. Which we definitely don't do. I know a few of the people that are on like my local town's government, but like very few on like the next step up from that, like, county comptroller, stuff like that. Like I'm not familiar with those people at all, who those people are, but I'm going to need to be. I'm going to need to get familiar with them because apparently this is going to be something that Mendocino County is going to have to deal with. So I hope I can handle that. I hope my county doesn't get totally banned on the vaping tip, but if it does, I'll be fighting for it. So, much love, everybody. I hope you guys have a great week. Don't work too hard. Videos are going to be coming up next week. My next one is probably going to be up either today or tomorrow. Juan, you're too beautiful. You're too beautiful for the world. Either tonight, I'm going to upload the video. It's done. I just got to render it. So either tonight or tomorrow. I'm going to wait till tomorrow because I usually like to have content kind of staggered, right? I don't want to do it on the same day. So we're going to have a video tomorrow. Super excited about it. And thank you, TWG. That's what I'm going to call you, TWG. And Church. Thank you both. So content's coming up, like I said. Much love to everybody. Stay tuned to the channel. Remember also, if the channel ever does disappear, look for me on social media. On Facebook, we have a Facebook page. There's a Twitter. It's at OverDoseVapes. That's always a way you can get a hold of me. And Instagram. Super active on Instagram. Upload put stuff on there every week at least. Thank you, Smoke 42 Vape. I'll let her know. And until next time, you guys keep coils tight. And we'll see you then. Peace out. Have a great week. Love you guys. Shut up, cat.